Welcome back to the channel. It's Moperman 1978. My name's also Jeremiah, but anyway. Thanks to all the new subscribers to the channel. If you like watching my videos, subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. You can leave anytime you want. But if you do subscribe, at least leave a comment of some sort, just saying hi or questions or just something in the comments. That guarantees your sub counts to my channel as well as other YouTube channels. But anyway, I'm out here today, day off, Sunday. Usually got to work Sundays, but went in town, helped my mom out on some stuff. But I wanted to bring you up to date. Haven't done a video for quite a while. I've been sick a couple different times. First time it was a head and body cold, possibly some type of variant in flu or something, I don't know. I was down for about 4 days, but got over that, went back to work, was fine, and then we had Christmas Day dinner, and tried something new. We tried, instead of a regular turkey, we tried the one where it's just the turkey breast already comes marinated and seasoned in a bag that you put in the oven and you cook, from Jennie-O. And then we had all the regular fixins, whatever you want to call it, and it was fine. Then you get the occasional stuff that you get with a lot of stuff that has garlic and whatnot in it. But anyway, and that towards that evening, I had another helping of the same stuff we had that day, and I was fine. And when we went to bed, we celebrated up till around midnight. And anyway, I would say about an hour or 2 hours after I went to bed, I started having a lot of problems. Got sick enough to where I thought I didn't know if I got like food poisoning or if it was a real bad case of flu. Luckily I wasn't spewing this way, but unfortunately the other end. TMI, I know. But anyway, was there till about 9 o'clock in the morning in the ER. They said it had some type of gastrointestinalitis or something like that, brought on by a combination of a bug or even contaminated food, something that maybe it was already pre-packaged that we bought. My mom got a little bit of it, but I got it really bad. So, but now, bring it up to speed, doing a lot better. I'm going to start taking some aloe vera juice with some of my drinking water off and on to help with that. And then, if you don't know, another thing, you can start drinking from a silver cup, silver lined cup, or even a copper cup. It has to be solid copper. Every time you drink something out of that, traces of copper in the silver, you digest that, goes through, it helps kill off bad bacteria, different stuff like that in your digestive system. So it's good for you. And I'm also going to start doing one a day spoonful of raw organic honey. I just bought a jar of it from our local health food store, but most people are concerned about probiotics, which is good, but you also have to have ones that are called prebiotics, and honey has a ton of that in there. So it helps with your digestion. The aloe vera and the honey is supposed to help with GERD, acid reflux, digestive issues, all that stuff. It's supposed to go down and help the good bacteria in your gut. But anyway, I know there's maybe a little bit more than you guys wanted to know, but I figured I'd help you guys out too for your health, better your health out there. But let's get back on to the automotive stuff. Get out of the sun so I'm not trying to stare. But okay, so last time I didn't do an update on the heater core. The heater core's in there, it's all working great. This video is about the item I bought, the kit I bought from the company called CATS, K-A-T'-S. And what you do is, I have this temporarily bolted up in here, but they give you this fitting in the kit. This is supposed to screw into the side of the block where the drain plug is, because the Mopars have one on each side on the side of the block. The problem is with this is I've got the exhaust pipe and the engine mount, the motor mount, right in the way. And if I was to install this, the heater hose, you have to run heater hose from off of this. I would have to try to snake it around the exhaust pipe and possibly the motor mount, and it would either cause the hose to be kinked or it would rub up against the exhaust pipe and causing it to melt and then leak, and we wouldn't want that. So in order to fix that situation, this will fit in there. This is a 1/4 inch or pipe fitting thread here, which is the same one on the side of the Mopar blocks. And unfortunately, this one I think is 7/16 NPT fitting, so this one won't screw in there. So in order to fix the problem, you'll have to get a tap and die set. It's a 3/8 18 thread, coarse thread, pipe thread, but it's NPT. And in order to do that, I bought a kit online. Luckily I already had this. I bought a cheap kit online that has the oddball size drill bit, and it came with the cheap version of this 3/8 NPT 18 pipe thread tap, and the teeth on the cheap one is not as good quality as this one, because I remember buying this one from Fastenal several years back. So luckily I found this one, and what I'll have to do is drain the block, drill out the hole, and then thread this in there to make the threads. And then to fix the problem, I had to go and get a stainless 3/8 NPT elbow. This part here will thread into the block. It'll have an elbow. And then I bought a short section of 3/8 NPT threaded pipe. I put the yellow Teflon on the threads inside there. And then this will have enough of a bite. When I put 2 clamps on here, it'll clamp down, and these threads will act as a anchor to bite into the hose and keep it on there. So it'll face this way, but I have to face it down at an angle. Sorry, it's starting to go out of focus there. I have to face it down at an angle. And then this is a heater, tank, and pump all in one. It's got a thermostat in it. It will reach up to 175 degrees Fahrenheit. This part has to be down below the engine block. I'm probably going to mount it on the frame here. I don't have enough to do on the radiator or the fender well. And this has to be facing straight up and down. It can't be at an angle, can't lay sideways. If it does that, it said in the printed off instructions that it could burn the heating element up. Also, you have to dilute your coolant otherwise you could burn the heating element up inside this as well. So anyway, it'll sit down below the block, and what it does is that helps gravity push the coolant down to the pump, and then when it comes up through the pump. And then this outlet here has to come over and go into this hose that goes into the water pump on the engine. And in order to do that, you have to splice it, and they supply a cheap plastic tube fitting like this, Y-shaped fitting, but I made this one out of stainless steel plumbing pipe. And people don't know, stainless steel has a real good welding and conductivity when you're welding. So I just cut out a rectangular notch in the side of the pipe, and then cut this off at an angle, put 2 pieces together, basically mocking the exact length of the cheap plastic one in the kit. And so it'll basically do like this right here. The hose will come up from the tank slash pump, and since coolant, see if I can get it to rest on there. Since the coolant comes around from off the intake, goes into the heater core, and then comes around and exits into the pump, the coolant coming off the heater tank will go in here with the flow. And what it does is, when you have this plugged in from an extension cord, this thing heats up, sends hot coolant and pushes it all through the block and down through and comes back up and circulates that. And it has a, like I said, a temperature sensor inside. Once it reaches 175, it shuts off. Once it starts to cool down, it'll kick back on. This is for extreme cold weather days and nights when you don't want to have a cold startup and trying to crank this thing over. This company also offers the kit where you can knock out one of your freeze plugs on the side of the block, and it comes with a plug-in cord to do that. I think they even offer the dipstick tube the dipstick rod that heats up, that you plug into an extension cord, and then they have one that you stick the heat pad to the bottom of the flat spot on your oil pan to heat it up as well. I don't know if I'd really trust those, since that could possibly peel off with the paint and stuff like that. But then the last one they have is, you take your lower radiator hose, you splice it right in the middle. This piece that you insert has a flared tube on one side and the other side, and it comes with two clamps. You clamp them together, and then it's got an extension cord that runs off that, and all it's got is a heating element. It don't have a pump. So then when you start heating that coolant up, I'm guessing the heat will slowly work its way up into the radiator, and then the heat will slowly work its way up into the pump, and then from the pump into, since water conducts heat, up through the hoses and into the rest of the block slowly over time. They got them where they fit vehicles, ATVs, stuff like that. But anyway, that's what I'll be having to mess with at some point. And then the other issue, I got to looking at the cam specs on this cam that's in this engine. It's a Earson TQ20H cam for a small block Mopar. It's basically a performance 340 cam. For you can use it for a 273 all the way up to 360, but this is a 318. And in the description, besides the regular cam specs, it says it needs to be ran with a 4-barrel and a basic set of headers. Well, unfortunately, I don't have headers on this. I have somewhat high flow manifolds, which are still not very good flowing manifolds. They're just stock 318 exhaust manifolds. So I've noticed this is kind of lacking a little bit of power. It could produce a lot more power with headers. So to fix the problem, I'm going to be taking these heads off for several reasons. I'll come down here and I'll show you. On any stock 318 small block, you'll have mounting studs with the nuts that go here or here. Well, this one is just a regular nut or bolt that goes straight through into the water jacket. Same thing with this one back here. And these are actually one size bigger than factory. These are 3/8, I believe. Same thing with over here. These are just the way the heads were when I got them. Well, the problem with this is, besides running manifolds with a cam that needs to have headers, is these bolts here on the back, on the corners, each corner of the manifold, eventually like to start to loosen up, especially the back ones, and they'll start to drip a little antifreeze, and then it'll smoke and steam on the exhaust manifold and on the inside of the exhaust pipe. Anyway, so that's another reason I want to get rid of these. And then later on I'll have the welding shop. Once I take the heads off and I pop out the freeze plugs, I'll run some regular threaded studs in there and then have them weld the back side up, since these heads are somewhat cast iron heads, you know, nickel iron heads. Anyway, and what I'm going to do is, the other problem is this is a air gap intake that has 340, 360 ports, while the heads have 318 ports. So there's, when that air comes down, it's hitting a lip, a ledge, and then going into the head. So what I'm going to do is, I talked with my buddy Rick Cross, Premier Machine Shop, and I was already thinking about him anyway, but I wanted to get his professional opinion on it. I've located a set of, they're from 86 to 91, 318, 302 cast heads. And the way you can tell is up on top of the head where they got the casting number, the last three numbers is going to be 302. They actually, instead of having the, for you the people that don't know, instead of having the round circular chamber on the head, it has a half of that circular section of the chamber has been covered up, and then the other part of what would be like the dome shaped part actually has the top part shaped like a heart, the top part of a heart shape, which increases compression, better airflow, all kinds of stuff all the way around. It's a better flowing head, running head, and it's cheap. And they made tons of them for cars from the 86 to 91, even the pickups, etc. So they're plentiful. I come across a guy on Marketplace in my area that has a set of heads, comes with brand new valves for $100 for the set. Supposedly the heads have already been taken to a machine shop and checked out, but I'm going to go ahead, and once I buy them this Friday, because I'm off Friday, I'm going to go with a Mopar buddy and pick them up, because they're way up past Springfield, up by, I forgot what the little town is, but anyway, get those, bring them back, drop them off the machine shop, have my buddy re-inspect them, and then maybe resurface the gasket surfaces for new head gaskets. I'm going to run Cometic, if I'm saying it right, head gaskets instead of the regular Fel Pros, and then my buddy that's going to take me up there to pick the heads up, we worked out a deal. He's restoring a 340 engine, and he wants matching 340 or Mopar small block factory head bolts. So, and he's got a brand new set of ARP small block head bolts, and we're gonna trade them out. So I'm gonna have ARP head bolts on this engine, and then of course once I get the heads, I'm gonna clean the bowls up, and then take the gaskets and trace out around and grind back that that ledge so that the air flows like it's supposed to into the head without any turbulence bouncing off those ledges inside the ports of the 318 heads. But anyway, so that'll be coming up this week too. Mom's going in with me on getting what's left of the brake stuff for the Valiant, so we'll get the we're gonna be getting the brakes taken care of and the front wheels put back on the Valiant, and then the only thing left is that rear seal on the rear end, filling that with fluid and finish bolting up the drive shaft, because the drive shaft bolts I forgot what they are. The retainers for on the U joint on the back is just hand tight, so they need to be tightened down, and then we can just focus on the interior after that. So anyway, slowly but surely, and then February is when I get my what do they call it? Profit sharing check. It's basically at the end of the year bonus, but they don't give it to us until February due to taxes and all that crap. anyway, and that's really gonna boost us forward on the projects and stuff that we want to get done. So, but anyway, I rambled on long enough, but I wanted to bring you up to speed on what I have to do to the truck. And I think this, once I get the heads on, and I get what I'm going to do is once I get the heads finished, I'm going to be saving money to order for a set of shorty headers. I haven't decided if I wanted to run long, since this is a daily driver. I don't know if I really want to run long tube headers or just run shorty headers. And but anyway, one or the other. Save up and get those put on, and then once I have all the parts saved up, put them all on at once, get it over with, and get this thing back to running. But anyway, sorry it took so long, and you know, just scheduling, being sick, whatnot, and until next time, stay tuned.